Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that nothing around you was ever neutral. Not your phone, not your feed, not your choices. Every click, every pause, every second of attention quietly recorded, analyzed, and fed into systems that know you better than you know yourself. In 1999, The Matrix wasn't sold as a documentary. It was sold as science fiction. Leather coats, slow-motion bullets, kung fu. But beneath the spectacle, it asked a question we still don't want to answer. What if reality itself is engineered, not by gods, not by fate, but by machines? When The Matrix was released, the internet was slow, loud, and innocent. Dial-up modems screamed their way online. AI was a buzzword for researchers, not a presence in daily life. There was no ChatGPT, no recommendation engines shaping culture, no algorithms deciding what billions of people see, believe, and desire. And yet, the film imagined a world where machines didn't just assist humans. They studied them, modeled them, optimized them, and eventually replaced reality itself with a more efficient version. The most disturbing part of The Matrix isn't the machines, it's how quietly they win. Humanity isn't destroyed in fire, it isn't conquered through war, it is managed, pacified, plugged into a system that feels real enough to never question. The Matrix doesn't need violence, it needs compliance. And compliance is easier when people believe they are free. Morpheus asks Neo, "What is real?" And that question has aged better than any visual effect in the film. Because today, reality is increasingly filtered, ranked, and rewritten by artificial intelligence. Your news is personalized, your opinions are nudged, your attention is auctioned. Not because anyone hates you, but because prediction is profitable. Control doesn't arrive as tyranny. It arrives as convenience. Back in 1999, AI couldn't write, draw, speak, or reason the way it can now. But the Wachowskis understood something deeper than technology. Systems evolve toward efficiency, not morality. In The Matrix, machines don't enslave humans out of cruelty. They do it because humans are useful, not as individuals, but as data, as energy, as predictable patterns. And that metaphor has never been more uncomfortable. Today, you are not a battery, but you are a data set. Your behavior trains models. Your preferences refine systems. Your life leaves a digital shadow that can be simulated, predicted, and manipulated. The Matrix called humans batteries. Modern AI calls them users. The film's machines didn't just simulate a world, they engineered behavior inside it. The architect explains that earlier versions of The Matrix failed because they were too perfect. Humans rejected them. So the system learned something chilling. People don't need happiness. They need meaning, conflict, desire. Sound familiar? Social platforms don't optimize for truth. They optimize for engagement. Outrage keeps you scrolling. Fear keeps you watching. Addiction keeps you predictable. This isn't coincidence, it's convergence. The red pill and the blue pill were never about choice. They were about awareness. Because even after Neo wakes up, the system doesn't disappear. He just sees it. And that's the most unsettling part. Waking up doesn't free you. It only makes resistance possible. Today, we live inside systems that behave eerily like the Matrix, but without cables in our necks. Algorithms decide which voices are amplified and which vanish. AI predicts what you'll buy, who you'll vote for, what you'll fear. Surveillance isn't hidden anymore. It's normalized. Cameras watch cities. Data watches minds. And most people don't resist because the system works. It entertains. It feeds. It distracts. The Oracle in The Matrix doesn't tell the future. She calculates it. She understands human behavior so well that choice becomes irrelevant. That's not magic. That's predictive analytics. Governments use it. Corporations rely on it. And AI models grow more accurate with every interaction. The more you live inside the system, the better it knows you. When the spoon boy says, "There is no spoon," he isn't talking about telekinesis. He's talking about perception, about realizing that the rules you think are fixed are actually imposed. Today, AI can bend reality itself. Deepfakes blur truth. Generated images replace memory. Virtual worlds promise escape while quietly training new models of control. Reality becomes editable. Some say we're projecting meaning backward, that the Matrix only seems prophetic because we're looking for patterns. But the film didn't predict specific technologies. It predicted outcomes. Centralized intelligence, behavioral optimization, humans reduced to inputs, machines not as monsters but as managers. Even the resistance in the Matrix isn't free. Zion exists by design, a pressure valve, controlled opposition. The system allows rebellion because rebellion stabilizes it, and that idea feels uncomfortably modern. Platforms allow dissent, as long as it's measurable, as long as it feeds the system, as long as it never threatens the structure itself. So was the Matrix a warning? Absolutely. But more than that, it was a mirror. It showed what happens when intelligence grows without wisdom, when efficiency outruns ethics, when systems decide reality is something to optimize rather than understand. The film ends with hope. Neo flies, a symbol of human potential. But the sequels remind us that systems don't collapse once. They reset, over and over again. And that may be the real prophecy. Not apocalypse, not liberation, but cycles, innovation, control, resistance, adaptation. Today, AI writes our words, generates our images, predicts our desires. Tomorrow, it may shape our decisions before we're aware we're making them. The Matrix didn't tell us this would happen. It asked whether we'd notice when it did. The red pill isn't technology. It's attention, awareness, the refusal to let machines define meaning for us. The blue pill is easier. Scroll, consume, obey the feed. In 2026, the Matrix doesn't need cables. It has you, exactly where it wants you.